Hello and welcome to the Round 17 injury update presented by AIA Vitality. The first one from the weekend's game is Brayden Maynard. So he had a little bit of hamstring tightness throughout the game, but completed the game and was fairly reasonably fully functional out there. It was more post-game that he had some awareness in there. He's since been and got scans, and he's got a very, very, very minor hamstring strain. So it's really on the lower end. So we know with hamstrings it's often 3-4 week kind of time frames. This one's not that bad, not enough to warrant that. It's on the very, very minor end with Checkers. It will rule him out of this week, so he'll be an out for this week's game. And then we'll be able to see how he bounces into his rehab, and we're only expecting this to sort of be a 7 to 10 day injury. So how he comes out of the rehab towards the end of the week, we'll be able to provide an update, and we're really hopeful that it's just going to be miss a week, but unfortunately that's a very small one there for Checkers, which will make him unavailable for this week. And then the other one from the AFL game was Braz. He had an incident with his shoulder, and then he was able to keep playing from that one. We know he had that issue the week before. He was able to keep playing, and he also then got a bump on the knee towards the end, and then he wasn't able to return the field from that one. He's actually pulled up really well from a knee point of view. He's had scans on that, structurally sound, really, really good at the point now where he's able to do some light running and jogging, so we don't think that's going to hold him back. The shoulder's a little bit sorer this week than it was last week, so we just have to see where that lands towards the end of the week. We'll be able to provide an update on how he recovers over the next 48 hours. Too soon to say for Braz, but we'll be able to provide an update later in the week as far as his availability, and we're just really hopeful that bounces back and gets better nice and quickly to make him available for the weekend, but we'll update further later in the week. One from the VFL game, the boys played really well down there in Frankston, but the one issue we had was a concussion for Nathan Kruger. He's in the AFL concussion protocols now, and he's just got to work his way through that protocol. There's no real time frame on that, it's just day by day. He's got to pass each stage as it comes. We'll be able to provide an update next week where he's at in that protocol and potentially have a time frame, but at the moment he's in that protocol, and we'll just follow the guidelines as they're set out at the moment with Krugs. And then into our injured list, Dan McStay. We're all excited for him to make his return down in Frankston and get some minutes. Unfortunately, it was the night before the game. He had some illness, and then that didn't improve over that 24-hour period to game time. So it was enough to rule him out. He was not well over the weekend. He'll miss the first couple of days of training this week with that illness, and then hopefully he completes the main training session and then becomes available for the weekend's game. We just have to assess how that goes over the week. We're not expecting any issues. It should be a really short-lived illness. Again, the finger's fine, the infection's fine. Just really unlucky one for Dan on the eve of his return. So should he complete full training on Wednesday, we'd expect him to be available for this weekend's game. Steel side bottom with the knees, put in a power of work over the last 2 weeks. So heaps of running, both straight line, agility work, offline running and skills work, to the point now where he's going to start introing into some of the skills work with the team. So he does some of the non-contact type drills and more footy-based movements now, and we build up his loads again this week. He's tracking really well for a return the following week. So going to be in some training this week, really build up his loads, have a really solid hit on the weekend, and then we should see him drop into full training next week and be available to play. And the final one is Charlie Dean. As we said, he completed a really good running program up to this point in time. It's now a bit of a deload period for Charlie, but it's just all part of the plan for him. We should deload him for around about 10 days, and then he'll be back into work, and then he'll be bouncing into agility and football work once he returns in about 10 days' time. And that's it for the Round 17 injury update.